Hello, dear people. How might you be doing this fine Friday evening? I hope you're well. Okay, there's something funny going on with my uh, the viewer counter. There's only one of you, according to the viewer counter, and it's too small. Okay, and it needs the color needs to be something different. Let's see. Let's see if we have that color there. We have Jens and Peter in the chat, and there was someone who had actually commented in the chat before actually a couple of hours. Yeah, the count has been wonky before. Yeah, that's correct. And I got carried away by by a number of things. So let me just check. Okay, we are recording to the correct place, I think. Yes, we are. Okay, bit right. Okay. Let's see if we can do anything about the audio. No. Okay. So basically, what we have here in Finland going on right now is the presidential elections. The current president cannot run for another term because he has this is his second term, and because we are not a dictatorship, he can't run for a third consecutive term, and he's already old. He's closest to 80, I think. Anyway, and he has a a much younger wife. That's called Jenny Haavisto. Well, he's been the man has been married before. He already he has children, adult children that are about the same age range as his wife number two. So let's see. She is 46 years old, as opposed to our president, who is 75 years old. So you may have seen this man before if you follow international politics. Okay. You may have. Let's see. Oi, what the? What? Okay. I have no idea what's been going on here. Ooh. Oi. Uh. Fuck. Okay. Let's take a break. Whoopsie. Um. Okay. Okay. So it's this guy. You've probably seen him in international politics uh, before. There's, for example, the U.S. military commander, and that's actually the Finnish, the commander of Finnish defense forces. That man there, and he's been hosting, the big guns, the U.S. and the Russians. Oh, for fuck's sake! Come on. Oops. Why do I have so many difficulties here? Okay, so that's the president and the missus. So, and so, what the fuck is wrong? My stream is all over the place. Fuck. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. So the presidential elections in Finland, we have uh, the pre-election is going on now, or the pre-voting. We have the Finnish voting system is quite interesting. So basically, we have the actual voting day. For whatever the parliament elections, the Euro parliamentary elections, and the presidential elections. We have like there's a week long period um, where you can go pre-vote, so you don't have to go. Say you want to vote, but you have something that on the actual election day, and you just don't want to go or cannot go, and then you just go vote beforehand. You have about a week they can vote beforehand, then it closes, and then I think we have the pre-voting is, I think, until Sunday, until this week Sunday or next Monday, and then the actual election day is next week Sunday. So it's been um, it's running somewhat spicy this this year or this time. The term for the Finnish presidential term is 6 years. The parliament the parliament is 4 year. The term is 4 years in the parliament for a member of parliament, and then for the president it's 6 years. And we don't have any mid-term elections because that would be way too complicated and super fucked. Okay, I need so many technical difficulties. Okay. Um, so it's a bit it's a bit spicy because first of all we have one one candidate the is from each party has one, but however this usually they have one. Every political party is entitled to have one, at least the major parties. Um, but then a member of parliament, if you're a member of the party, you can still go the other route and collect. I think it's 25,000 supporter cards, and then send these supporter cards to the whatever the places they send those, and then you can run for president. And it's 24,000 because, mind you, we are a nation of 5.5 million. So one of the people running for the office is a is the current chair speaker of parliament. What is I'm not even sure if that's the real word. Speaker of parliament. Uh, uh, the speaker of the Finnish parliament. Yes. So the current the current and the thing is he's the chair. We don't have a vice president. So that in protocol, the speaker of parliament is the second in protocol. The president, and right after the president, it's the speaker of parliament. So the if something happens to the president, or if the president if he or she is incapacitated, die, or is uh, incapable of doing his duties, then they can take in the chair of parliament, or the speaker of parliament, and that guy is a Nazi. Uh, not self-proclaimed, but what he's been writing uh, over the years, you know, is like textbook fascism, and he has actually um, reported two people to the police for calling him a fascist. Uh, so they so the police are now investigating two people for you know fuck, I'm not even familiar with these legal terms. Yeah. He has reported two people for defamation to the police. Why? Because these two people called him a fascist, and now he thinks it's defamation. Um, but it wasn't. It was just a few years ago that he himself has said on camera, and I think at least by bare minimum, give said in an interview for a paper, that he thinks that high up politician um, that being called a that if a high ranking politician is called a fascist by someone, it's not, you shouldn't do you shouldn't report it to the police as defamation, because as a high ranking, as a um, speaker of parliament, I think he used the speaker of parliament as an example, because the then speaker was upset about someone calling them an idiot. Um, so basically, just a few years ago, the current chair of parliament said that you should be able to uh, call the chair of parliament a fascist without being reported to the police for defamation. And now he was called he now that he, as the speaker of parliament, was called a fascist, and now he made two separate police reports for defamation. So uh, because he wanted to see how to get he was basically he said he wants to get a where's my English today? Uh, he wants to set a precedent. Whether or not you can call the chair of parliament. He got upset because someone, now that he actually has power, he got upset because someone called him a fascist, and now he wants to set a precedent. Now he is an idiot. So now the actual why am I talking about uh, the presidential elections? Because there is one of the candidates is Pekka Haavisto. Uh, he's he's the former Minister of Foreign Affairs. We just had parliamentary elections last April. So basically, he was the the Minister of Foreign Affairs until last May or early June, and the preceding 4 years. He was for 4 years. He was the Minister of Foreign Affairs until last May, early June, because it took a while for the new parliament to get in. So he is gay, and he is. I think they're married. Uh, he's married to um, an Ecuadorian hairdresser, Antonio Flores, and they actually have an age gap as well. Um, yes, they Antonio Flores. Okay, Pekka Haavisto is 65 years old as of right now, and his husband, Antonio Flores, is 45 years old. So they've got 20 years of age gap. Okay. Ooh, okay. Here. This is the this is the man. Uh, there. I've never met him, but my mom has, and a number, and actually I've met someone who actually And my ex-wife met him as well. They tell me he's a nice guy. Tonia Flores, there we have it. Uh, oops. Oi, there. So, so it is possible uh, that they will. There is actually a real possibility that this man will be elected. So I wouldn't be too surprised if that happens. So yes, to avoid queues, vote early. Yeah. And oh, did someone say a nasty truth? Yes. Regarding, um, I mean there is um, a ton of racist, like I wouldn't say racist, but inappropriate jokes about this the the chair, the Speaker of Parliament, just because of his name, just because his name and he's racist. So, and some of these just work only in Finnish, so it would be inappropriate to even attempt. And I would, even if I did, I would probably be kicked out of YouTube for being politically incorrect. So I think there is a good chance that Pekka Haavisto will be the next president. He did run last time, 6 years ago, against the current president, and yeah, he didn't lose by much. And the system works that so that here it's a direct vote. Is a direct vote. So whereas in the U.S. there are, in each state there is a you need to get a certain there are, it's in the US it's indirect. We had indirect presidential elections until 1994, I think, because the current yeah 1994, the elections of 1994, because the president Martti Ahtisaari, who I talked about some time ago, actually was actually the first president to have been to have been elected through a direct vote. So basically, if none of the, none of the candidates get uh, a majority, uh, which means uh, if none of them get if no candidate gets over 50%, there's a second round, and on the second round there are only the two most popular ones. So most popular and second most popular. So it will be interesting to see the president's Independence Day ball next year when they introduce president president of the Republic Pekka Haavisto and Mr. Antonio Flores. When usually it's like the president in Finland, um, the current president is a president. All former presidents are called presidents, but the current president is titled uh, president of the republic. So So every year there's an Independence Day dance or ball, um, or the Independence Day reception, I think is the correct term. Oh, the dog is here. Ooh, the dog went out. Ooh, Mina. Oi, just a moment. Yo, 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 yo. Oi, oi. Ooh. Hmm. Just yellow. Hmm. Hmm. Oi. Hmm. This smells of a wet dog. She was just outside. Yes. Snow dog. Mita. Yes. And actually, and our Independence Day is Dece- December 6th. So every year, so it's the middle of winter. But it's still, people have nice clothes, and there are, just they have themes every year. I think Katya has a different haircut, yes. Yeah, and Misa has gotten big, yes. She weighs probably closer to 8 kilos now. Yeah, she grows fast. Yeah. Actually, my friend's dad has been to the Independence Day reception several times as a protocol guest. And it's I've heard it's not always very interesting. It's just so they have different themes every year. They invite like I think this year they had a little less people. They invited maybe closer to 2,000 guests, maybe. Uh, this year it was 1,700 guests. Um, there are the war vet war veterans. In it it's really weird for me when Americans call people in their late 20s and early 30s. They call them veterans because some for me and for Finns, a veteran means is a person a a military veteran is a person who served in the Second World War, because Finland hasn't been in a war since since 1945. Sorry, 1944. So it's been 70 years. What, 80 years? Yeah, it's been 80 years or so since uh, since the Second World War. So yeah, it's the Moscow Peace Treaty was signed in September September 19th, in 1944. So it'll be 80 years since Finland was in war. So that's why it's just so baffling when American when an American in their 30s says I'm a war veteran. It's really weird. So back Pekka Haavisto, he has known he's gay since since he was young, but actually, and he has been involved in politics since I think um, early 90s at least. I think since the 80s, early 90s, and it wasn't until late 90s that he was actually forced out of the closet because they sort of the the party he's still representing, the Green Alliance, kind of forced him out because not, they didn't out him, but um, they needed it kind of as leverage, sort of leverage, because they wanted to have an advantage of some sort. I said, okay, you come that he should come out and take a hit. But it was okay. He ended up well. He ended up well. I do not like the color of. Do not like the color. Okay. So I think it would be excellent to have a gay president. It's not unheard of to have a leading have a prime minister, to have a president or equivalent who's gay. Uh, I think the prime minister of Luxembourg is gay, and the the current or a former but quite recent um, prime minister of the Netherlands is actually also gay, and he was the first gay prime minister in Europe at the time. So it's quite interesting. Okay, and I there was actually uh, someone in the chat that you said something. Uh, said some There was some talk about uh, of a Bible verse. It was almost as if it was in the chat. I remember seeing it on the mobile app. I remember distinctly remember seeing it on the mobile app. Um, if I for the if I could just find it. Um, okay, I saw it on the mobile app, so I'm gonna look for it here. I Yeah, scroll up. I can't find it anymore. Uh, I I can't find it. Okay, but there was um okay, what so there was, shall I copy and paste? Yes, please. It was a Bible verse, um Gospel, yeah, Matthew 19:12. I've seen that Bible verse somewhere. Matthew 19:12. For year New International Version. Okay, let's go for King James, because that's let's go for King James because that's because King James is usually the go-to um, is usually the go-to translation people these fundies the fundamentalists like to go to. Uh, so Matthew 19:12, for there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Uh, and this person here says, Tonya Deeker says, Matthew 19:12 says God prefers same-sex marriage and confirms transgender people are born that way. Uh, and anyone saying otherwise will soon be with the wicked. Uh, okay, I think um, okay, maybe I will be with the wicked then because I say uh, God does. Oh, well, at least biblical God does not approve of trans people or gays or bisexuals or women or any other type of people than cisgender, the straight cisgender Jewish men from the from Galilee, basically. Any other type of people. So basically, if you want to be saved by the biblical God, you basically have, or the God of the Christian Bible, you need to be a first century Jewish carpenter from Galilee. That's the only way. Uh, to go back 2,000 years, hang around with that, with Galilean Jewish carpenters, and you might have some luck. Let's see if the what. Okay. Okay. Interestingly, so let's take this again. Matthew 19:12. What does it? Okay, let's go from to BibleRev.com. What does it mean? Okay, so uh, BibleRev.com explains Matthew 19:12 as follows. After hearing Jesus' declaration that divorce is unlawful except in the case of sexual immorality, the disciples have responded that it is better not to marry at all. Hmm, that's what Jesus did, didn't he? Jesus does not insist everyone must get married. Yeah. So basically, in the Bible, a eunuch was a a man who has been castrated, meaning his sexual organs have been surgically removed and or disabled. In so basically castrated men, for which in Eastern courts male servants tended to royal women were castrated. So basically, male castrates. It doesn't say anything about transgender people. And what in the biblical um, what was a biblical eunuch? It's for example, according to Renew.org, that that under New Testament law, eunuchs were banned from priesthood and from God's assembly due to their castration. So basically, because because the Christian Bible hadn't been written yet, um, I would assume that at the time of Jesus, they were outcasts. So it doesn't make this 1912 and God prefers same-sex marriage, etc. Doesn't make any sense to me. But that is not something that I need to be arguing a case for or against. But yes, I think we need Pekka Haavisto to be our next president because he's kind of sweet man. Ooh, mikä vauva? Haluaako se missä on? Voi voi. Ei, älä sitten tule. By the way, if you want to go to the Warning concert, please just get your tickets ASAP. Because their tour is quickly selling out. They're they are just selling out really quickly. For example, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gigs sold out. So basically, they have still tickets to their first four some of their gigs in Spain, and then Portugal. We have Lisbon, Portugal, then Santiago de Compostela, Barcelona, and Madrid in Spain. Then there's Milan, Italy, but you should be quick. You should be quick for Milan, Zurich, Munich, Prague, Berlin, Cologne, Leeds, Manchester, Cardiff, and London. And they've already. I'll be going to Paris, where they upgraded their venue to a bigger place, but it also sold out. They sold out, upgraded, and sold out again. So they've sold out Paris, France, Harlem, the Netherlands, Birmingham, UK, and Glasgow, UK. So a lot. If you want to go, you have some limited options left. So they I've seen them in London already, so I wanted to go to Paris. By the way, I had a weird. Oh, we have purple in the chat. By the way, I've had a curious problem with a curious computer problem. First, Katya's computer started blue screening at boot and boot looping, and in some It's on good luck. It's sometimes booted, but it was a nerve wreck. But eventually, it just did stop booting, and it just blue screened at boot every time. And I got her got her a new motherboard because it started at first it was just um, blue screening if I updated the BIOS beyond the one right after the one. You know, it shipped with BIOS A, but if I updated the BIOS beyond the next BIOS version, let's call it B. If I updated anything beyond the next version that it shipped with, it blue screened. Eventually, I switched mother. I bought her a new motherboard. It blue screened. Uh, I swapped out some. I swapped out RAM from my. I took out RAM from my own rig and put it in. It worked. Then I tried two sticks of the old RAM. No, I tried the different stick configuration of her old RAM with the new piece with the new motherboard. No, but when I so it was the RAM. RAM was bad. RAM didn't work, but for some reason I have those all those four sticks that Katja's computer had, and that computer was blue screening with that kit with that RAM, but mine isn't. So I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Anyway, how have you, darling people, been doing? I've been babbling on for 50 minutes now. How are you? Has any has your life been treating you well? I hope so. Ooh, Nishan. Hmm. The dog is barking at something. I no idea what. No idea what. Sometimes she sees and hears things that we don't, and it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy, you know. Okay, if you haven't done so already, please um, leave leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You got through a bout of log allergy. Okay, that is actually very unfortunate. I have been treating. Peter says life is treating me not sure well is the correct adjective though. Okay, life treats you, but mm, laitatko se luontaas piilu? Mm. She's hiding the bone. Yeah, probably vaccinated, nothing serious. Yeah, I'm getting my fourth vaccine on Monday. So it and it's handy that I get the flu shot for free. For because um, my employer is legally required to provide us the the flu shot. and there was a time when uh, our employer, or every employer in the healthcare, the healthcare employers actually had to turn away uh, employees who hadn't had the COVID vaccine. And I've applied for a number of new positions in the organization that I work for at the moment. So I'm not satisfied with how the place is run, but that's about it then. That I'll say for now. Oi. Oh well. I think I think this is it for today. I've talked about all sorts of things, and I think I should just go chill a bit. I'm a bit tired, so I will see you uh, in the next video. I try to get a beer video out this week, uh, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I try to film. Sorry, not this week. Next week. Sorry. Yes, next week. So next week Wednesday, I'll try to get a beer video out. I'll see you on Hades Corner next week. Until then, bye.